Welcome back everyone to another Origins of Power Day 0 build. Today we're going over Bertolt Hoover Living Weapon and Bertolt Colossus Titan Advancing. So Bertolt is our first of several 5-handers. His 5-hand size, 31 health, death and fire as his symbols as opposed to fire and chaos. And he's got the warrior trait, and on his flip side he has Titan and warrior. He has Enhance, draw 2 cards, and discard 2 cards. If the discarded cards share a type, this attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So, draw on a 5-hander. 5-handers love draw. That is an incredibly powerful ability. You do have to give up the same amount of cards that you draw, but cycle drawing is an incredible ability. There's also, I believe, a Bertolt Foundation on fire from the original set that does this on a flip cost. You can flip, or no, there's an attack that you can draw 2 and discard 2, and if you discard 2 of the same type, this attack gets 2 damage, so I think we have that here. So this is a really cool ability. And then response, at the start of the end phase, transform Bertolt Hoover Living Weapon. Each player chooses 3 foundations in their stage and sacrifices the rest. Only playable if a player has 9 or more foundations. So it has to happen at the start before the turn player builds any cards from their card pool into their stage at the end of the turn. So it has to be the first thing that happens in the end phase. So no, I'm going to build 5 on turn 1 and then 5 on turn 2, and at the end of that nuke everything but 3. There's just no way you do that. So it's really powerful because you are left with 3 foundations, as is your rival. And we have Bertolt Colossus Titan Advancing. As a static, he says all of your attacks get +2 damage, and you may remove them after they resolve. So you can get rid of progressive difficulty while boosting the damage of your attacks. And it has a response, after you play an attack, draw 1 card and your rival commits 1 foundation. If at the start of your rival's end phase, they had 9 foundations, then they might have a few more than you going into their turn, or going into your turn, but you can just constantly check 5s, hopefully, and commit out all of their foundations while drawing cards. Incredible power. So, let's move on to our attack lineup. We have first, Lethal Slash. This is a 4/2, 3 high for 4, with a +1 mid-block. It's got Fury and Weapon. I've gone with a Fury package for this character, and you'll see why. Blitz, draw 1 card. We like having a lot of draw in this character so that we can discard as many of the same type of cards as possible to constantly get that +2 damage. And then response, after this attack resolves, if it was the second or greater card that you've played this turn, remove it. So even if we aren't transformed, we can still keep our progressive difficulty low. We have Attack Titan's Outrage, a 5/3, 5 mid for 5 with a +1 mid block, the Fury keyword. Blitz, discard 1 card and draw 1 card. Again, we love cycle draw. And then Blitz, if you have cycled this game, this attack gets +3 speed and +3 damage. So drawing 2 cards per attack, yours and your rivals, is going to cause you to cycle pretty quickly. So having cards that gain a bonus ability if you've cycled can be really intense, especially on that reverse side of Colossus Titan Advancing, where all of your attacks are getting +2 damage and removing themselves to try to draw even more attacks and then just rush down your rival. Fiery Stare, this is the attack I was talking about. 5/3, another 5 mid for 5 with a +2 mid block, Fury and ranged. I guess a Stare is ranged. Blitz, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. If the discarded cards share a card type, this attack gets +2 damage. So this could be a way to get +4 damage on your human side and +4 damage on your Titan side. And of course drawing a whole bunch of cards while trying to push yourself to cycle so that you can get some of these bonus abilities. We have Increased Hostility, a 3/3, 3 low for 3 with a +2 low block and the Fury keyword. Blitz, if you have 2 or more attacks in your remove from game pile, this attack gets +2 damage. If you have 5 or more attacks in your remove from game pile, this attack is +3 speed, so this can become a 6 low for 5. Or in our Titan side, a 6 low for 7 on a 3 difficulty, because as our attacks resolve, we're going to be removing them, which is only going to be boosting this card's damage and speed even more. So really, really powerful card here for a 3 diff to be a 6 low for 7, potentially, just before we add any other abilities on our foundations or what have you. We have Flash Fire Fist Hell Spider, a 4/3, 3 high for 6, and a 2 high block, Fury and ranged. Enhance, Mill 2. Your attacks get +1 speed for this turn, and if you've cycled during this game, your attacks get +1 damage this turn. So using this as an opener after we've cycled and transformed, all of our attacks are getting +1 speed and +3 damage for the rest of the turn. That is incredible. Just very powerful, just stacking these bonuses up little by little and just going ham. And lastly, we have Stun Grenade. This is a 4/3, 4 mid for 4, with a +2 high block. Fury, powerful 2, used for momentum, and stun 1. Enhanced, this attack gets +1 to its stun rating for each attack that's left your card pool this turn. Considering our Titan side commits rival foundations anyway, I don't see that being too big of an issue. But Enhance, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Fury attack revealed this way to your hand, discard the remaining cards. We like getting more cards and more attacks in our hand, and that's really, really strong. So next we have Assets, Vertical Maneuvering Equipment, just one of the best assets in the game right now. It's a 2/5, 1 mid block, Enhance, spend 1 momentum for +3 or -3 speed, and you may change the zone of the attack. And you can commit it for an extra 2 damage in a pinch. Actions, we have Barrier Shield. If you're running any of these 3 symbols and you're not running Barrier Shield, I think you're doing it wrong. 2/5, 2 high block, ally keyword. As a static, it does not count towards progressive difficulty. That's useful if you're using the bottom enhance of your rival cannot add cards to their hand during this attack due to their non-character effects, or blocking with it. But you're mostly using it for the top enhance, remove, reduce this attack speed to 0. The next card you play this turn gains Breaker 2. That's going to be the main thing that you're using this for defensively. And lastly, we have backups. We have the new Grisha's Attack Titan, a 2/5 with a 1 low block and 6 stamina, Titan keyword. As a form, we sacrifice Grisha's Attack Titan, add 1 Fury attack from your discard pile to your hand. So not only are we trying to draw more attacks, we can just pick up whatever attacks we may have checked or had to discard with our effects with Grisha's Attack Titan and just keep that momentum going. So as a 5-hander, we're not really a 5-hander. We are not. We are going to be picking up attacks left and right. Onto our foundations, we have Concern for Annie, a 2/5 with a 1 mid block. Response, remove. After this card is discarded or sacrificed, your attack gets +2 speed. So if we discard it and another foundation with Bertolt Hoover's human side, we get 2 speed and 2 damage. That's a pretty good return. And then as a Deadlock enhance, we can flip this and our rival discards a card. That is one of the more potent Deadlock abilities that you will see on cards, forcing your rival to lose cards from their hand. We have Prelude to Destruction, a 3/5 with a 3 mid block. Response, sacrifice. After you check or mill an attack, add that attack to your hand. So if we've checked an attack, or we mill it thanks to like Flash Fire Fist, we can just pick it back up. We love getting more attacks in our hand, especially as a 5-hander. Eaten by the Beard Titan, it's a 2/5, 3 high block, tenacious or playable while committed. Sacrifice, this attack gets -3 speed. We like all that defense. I'm With You, it's a 1/5, 2 low block. Response, remove. After this card enters your discard pile during the enhanced step, this attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So it doubles up on Bertolt's human side enhance to give +2 or -2 damage. So that's +4 or -4. That's really solid returns. Loss of Consciousness, response, remove. After this card enters your discard pile during the enhanced step, seal 1 rival foundation. We love doing that offensively and defensively. Feral Shriek, remove. Response, remove. After you discard this card during the combat phase, draw 1 card. So we draw 2 cards, discard 2 of these, draw 2 more cards. Or response, after your rival's combat phase begins, you can discard 1 card and draw 1 card. Pretty good. Mikasa's Admission, 1/6 to mid-block. Response remove, after you discard this card during the combat phase, it gets +2 or this attack is +2 or -2 damage. We want to draw a whole bunch of these foundations to then discard and get even more stats. So really powerful there. Incubating, enhance remove a card from your discard pile for -1 speed. Pretty solid. Urameshi Perseverance. We can remove this foundation, spend 1 momentum. We get to add any card in our discard pile to our hand. Again, if we're going in, we've transformed, we picked this to stay in our stage, and if we know we can pass all of these like 4 and 3 diffs with only 2 foundations, we're just gonna run. We are just gonna run rampant. New number 1, a 3/5 with a 2 high block. This card cannot be sealed, which is cool, but we can enhance, commit, return this attack to its printed speed. This attack gets +1 or -1 speed. So good offensively and defensively. We have Talented Baker as a 2/5 with a 3 low block. It says enhance. This attack is +1 speed, only playable if you've drawn 1 or more cards during the combat phase. And both of our sides draw cards by playing attacks, either during the enhance or as a response. So we are always going to get +1 speed live on this for each copy of Talented Baker we have. And lastly, Quick to Act. We're a 5-hander. We can afford to tank a few hits to the face. And if we get below half our maximum health as an enhance, we just get a free +1 speed. So really, really cool there. And that is Bertolt Hoover Living Weapon and Bertolt Colossus Titan Advancing. I think it would be rough to try to go in as soon as you transform with only having 3 foundations. I think you'd want to make sure you could build like a Baker, a Quick to Act, something like that, to where you could have some speed on top of having your Colossus Titan damage. Obviously, you're not going to worry too much about your rival having foundations if every time you play an attack, they're committing 1. Just kind of like your Toga 3 at that point. And with all of these ways that we have with like Stun Grenade and Grisha's Attack Titan to get more attacks into our hand, I think you could afford to transform, nuke everyone down to 3 foundations, and then maybe build a few more foundations on your next turn and then go in. I think you can afford that kind of moment of rest, because your rival's only going to have 3 foundations too. They're probably not going in. They might try to build up as well, but you have committal on face to be able to say, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to play like 3 foundations, hold 2, and then I don't think you're going to kill me with only 3 foundations, or maybe 4, and then I'm going to go in on my next turn and absolutely stomp. So it'll be interesting to see how people build this character. What do you guys think? Do you think he's better off of Fire with like this Fury package that I built, mainly because of Grisha's Attack Titan just fetching us more Fury attacks? Or do you think a Death build might be better, focusing on debuilding your rival after you've dropped them down to 3? I could definitely see something like that playing. But let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.